Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Is the stimulus and are the extended unemployment benefits holding back economic recovery? Yeah, folks, this is an important question, and a well-known business owner, Tillman Fertitta, who is the Landry's chairman and the CEO of Houston Rockets, and he said all of the stimulus, all the unemployment money is going towards expensive items, going towards the purchase of expensive items and fancy meals, and is actually discouraging individuals from getting back to work. And he said that because employers are finding it hard to get people to come back to work, those who actually create our produce, our chicken and all the meat that we eat, will find that they don't have employees, and therefore their costs are going to go up, and those costs are going to be passed on back to consumers like you and me. He said fundamentally all this stimulus is going to lead to more inflation down the road. In some very interesting comments, Tillman said that essentially all the stimulus is going to negatively impact, it's going to hurt economic recovery. Pretty incredible comments. Let's roll the tape and hear from Tillman Fertitta. Let's watch.
Well, it's really amazing, and looking at like the month of April, we're up 2% in revenue compared to 19, which is the highest in the nation for all of our business. And what's interesting is that New York is down 50%. And yet we have a fewer cases percentage. So everybody criticized Governor Abbott for opening this up last May. We've been open. And so obviously it was the right decision. But now what we're all fighting, of course, is there's no employees out there. And now you've got the new American Jobs Act for the infrastructure that is going to make the labor market even tougher. And what's amazing, Tyler, is our average wage for non-tipped employees is $14.15 an hour. Our problem in America, running a 6 to 7% unemployment, that 6 to 7% doesn't want a job. You can get a job in any industry you want, basically, right now.
I really agree with you on that, because you see ads and you see banners at stores, and whether it is Bed Bath & Beyond or Target or a local restaurant or a big national chain like yours, people are looking for workers. Do you attribute most of that inability to attract workers to the idea that workers are receiving and riding on unemployment benefits?
100%. It's the extra $300 a week. When I first said this on CNBC a few weeks ago, everybody looked at me like I was crazy. And then they all realized this is what's happening, and there's no employees out there. I mean, we are offering bonuses everywhere. And at the same time, my casinos are having record-breaking months, okay? That's stimulus, guys. That's where your money is going. It's going out there in all of your high-end department stores, your Louis Vuittons, your Chanels, all your high-end steakhouses, all your high-end hotels. In the last week, I've traveled to Philly, to New York, to L.A., and I see what's going out there, and it's not just happening in Houston. People are spending money everywhere.
And people are chomping at the bit to get out and resume normalcy. And happily today, we find that we can now go outside safely without wearing masks, according to the CDC. So if I were to sum it up, I think I'm hearing you say we do not have an employment recession in the country, number one. Number two, that the extended unemployment benefits, well-intentioned though they may be, is actually retarding a full recovery.
100%. And what's happening now, you're getting ready to have huge inflation for the consumer, because the people in the slaughterhouses, the people raising the chickens, the people raising your produce, they can't find employees, so they can only produce so much. So what happens? They raise the price to the consumer businesses like mine, which is retail, which is restaurants, which is hotels, and on and on and on.
And it's going to be
then
passed
what happens? We have to raise the price to the consumer. We have to pay more. So therefore, you've built yourself in the inflation that you always wanted.
So let me know whether you agree or disagree with his comments, because at the end of the day, folks, we don't want too much inflation. Some inflation is normal. prices tend to go up over time, but we don't want prices to shoot up over time, because then there could be a severe imbalance between supply and demand, which by the way leads to inflation, which could then cause further inflation, because some prices tend to shoot up and then there's a mad rush for essentially buying those things. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. In the meantime, here's a new headline of an article on your screen from the Huffington Post. Ultra wealthy Americans are scrambling to get ahead of Biden's planned tax hikes. It's very clear that President Biden is going to raise taxes on the ultra wealthy. He's going to close certain tax loopholes, and President Biden wants to raise taxes on corporations as well. So what wealth advisors are saying is that their clients, the top 1% with millions, in some cases hundreds of millions of dollars, are panicking. Sometimes people don't realize how much money they've accumulated until they're about to lose it. In other words, individuals are now realizing that, hey, they accumulated wealth over generations, and now when they try and pass it on to the next generation, they're going to face a big tax bill. So this is the concern that the ultra wealthy are having. And on the other side of the spectrum, folks, on the other side of the spectrum, this is just ironic. This, by the way, tells us about this exposes the imbalance in our country. On the other side of the spectrum, you'll see this headline on your screen from the Washington Post. Cash payments, meaning essentially the stimulus checks and the state specific stimulus checks, because some states have been sending out stimulus checks on top of the federal stimulus check. So these cash payments spread from Congress to Stockton to Brazil. Okay, so there are places like Stockton in California that essentially championed the universal version of universal basic income, sending out additional stimulus checks as experiments unconditionally to certain residents. But the concept of the universal basic income is too far from reality. It's a very new concept in our country. Folks, I find this particularly ironic. The ultra rich are panicking because they are going to have to pay, in many cases, millions of dollars by way of taxes that they had not anticipated. In fact, they thought that, hey, we're not going to have to worry about this because of the 2017 tax cuts. And on the other hand, there are those dependent on stimulus benefits, dependent on unemployment benefits. There are those who need some form of universal basic income to escape the cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now. And then we have individuals who say that, hey, the stimulus, the unemployment benefits will essentially interfere with economic recovery and interfere with our overall ability to get past this and will lead to more inflation. Let me know what you think of this. You did hear Tillman Fertitta basically saying, hey, we're starting to do much better than before. We're doing quite well, but we're finding it hard to hire people. So this is an employer, a multi-millionaire, saying he's finding it hard to employ people, and those people who need the stimulus checks, who need the unemployment benefits to make rent, to put food on the table, individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment and hospitality who lost their jobs permanently, are being told that, hey, because you have so much stimulus, because you have so much unemployment benefits, you are not coming back to work, and that's going to come back to haunt you in the future, which is the mother of all ironies. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. On this channel, I cover important matters pertaining to the country, the economy, as well as our money. Please subscribe, please enable notifications, because I work hard on this channel every single day to bring you the latest news pertaining to our country. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, please click like, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.